Hi guys, it's Sean here from Sean Burgess Personal Training, and I'm here today to answer your questions that you've been firing at me for the last couple of months, and to be honest, the last couple of years. I thought it'd be really important to take this time now to try and address some of the key concerns that everyone has when it comes to exercise, nutrition, but most importantly, weight loss. Okay? Why your diets aren't working for you, despite the fact that you feel like you're eating well and you're following a strict routine. Why you're not losing weight from those problem areas. Okay, and what you can do to try and kickstart your results in terms of your nutrition, but also your exercise as well. Because there's a lot of things out there that some of you guys might not have known, and you've got to remember that your body works in a specific way. Okay, so you've got to find the habits and the routines that are going to be best for you. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be answering some of these questions. We're going to be running through them. It's not just going to be me talking today though, guys. I've actually invited a special guest. I always feel it's important to try and get the opinions and a fresh perspective on a lot of areas in nutrition. And my guest that I've invited today is called Jay Mitchell, who's got over 15 years experience in nutrition, working across the world with many people to help them achieve great results. The other key thing with Jay is he's qualified, obviously up to the hill in nutrition, but also specializes in detoxification, which is a real specialist area, and a lot of people do find it difficult to understand and get their head around how this process works. So with that in mind, let's go across and meet Jay. Hi Jay, thanks for coming along today. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Superb. So you're here to try and help us with the products today and explain everything?
Correct, yeah. I mean, I've known Sean for a couple of years now. Since I came back from working abroad, I spent many years doing seminars on nutrition, on exercise, on cleansing, on detoxification. I was a qualified personal trainer. And when I spoke to Sean, he had a big passion about helping people to improve their body shape, to get in a better shape, and to actually get more energy into their life and feel more vibrant. And so we've been chatting over the last couple of years. We've done a few things together. And we've now started looking at detoxification and cleansing. And with my experience, Sean's asked me to come along today, which I was really excited to do for Sean. And today we're going to go through some of the main concerns that I think people are facing these days when they're cutting calories and they're dieting and they're trying to lose weight and they see some weight loss and then suddenly they hit a plateau, don't they? And then they fall off the wagon, they put all the weight back on and more, or they just can't seem to get rid of the excess weight. So we're going to go through today the problems that they're facing, and we're going to give you the solutions that you need to get that body energetic, vibrant, and get going again. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sounds great.
Brilliant. Should we take a seat?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Sean, you've asked me along. You said you've got a lot of people asking you a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Over the last months and years you've been doing it. So what do you want to kick off with?
Well, I think the first one, which should be a really good point to try and start with, is everyone's been saying to me, I'm doing all this exercise, I'm going to the gym 5, 6, sometimes 7 times a week. I'm really kicking my ass every time I go and train, but I'm not losing any weight. What am I doing wrong?
Well, there can be quite a few answers there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people these days. When they go, start a new training routine, and they think they have to go 1-2 times a day, every day, 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
And they're overtraining, they're overworking themselves, and they get to the point within 2 or 3 weeks their body's just worn out.
Yeah.
It can't keep up with the amount of pace they're doing. You can't go from not exercising for a month or 2 or 3 months to suddenly trying to exercise every day. As you know, it doesn't work that way, does it?
And that's the big thing, isn't it? Everyone always perceives that the more they do, the better results are going to get. Well, actually, with the way fitness works and the way the body works, actually less is more. And I've really been big on promoting that in the last couple of years, with clients. Actually giving yourself that rest and recovery will enhance your results. And like Jeremy said there, the big thing is that people will often do is they start in the gym having done nothing before or been very sedentary for a period of time for whatever reason, and then go in and start training almost twice a day, start training every single day, don't give themselves any rest and recovery, and they just end up dropping off. There's a lot of studies out there that show that the percentage rates of people that drop off from training in the first 12 weeks is pretty big. Sometimes it can be anything up to about 50-60% of people who sign up to gyms can stop within the first 12 weeks, which is a big stat. And it's down to physical stress, emotional stress on the body, and it all goes against obviously their own perceptions of how to lose weight and how to get good results, because they see all this hard work going in and don't see as much coming back.
Yeah, and it's also to do with your mindset as well. So you have to think that when people start this exercise routine off, they get this goal and they think, I'm going to look like this, I'm going to drop 20 pounds, I'm going to feel great. And so they set their little plan out of the times they're going to the gym. And over the time, when they start missing sessions and they start, not being so involved, they start feeling like they're failing, and they put more pressure on themselves, and then that affects their mindset. So then when they don't succeed, they are in that wrong frame of mind, and then they go back to what they normally do, which is eating comfort food, because they're feeling depressed that they didn't meet their goal. They put all the weight back on plus more, and then they sit there frustrated and back to the square one, but worse off. So they go and do the same thing again, and they do that diet again, and in their mind they failed the last time, and they've still got that in the back of their mind. And they start off with all great intentions, exercise too much, you don't get enough recovery, they cut calories out of their body, and the same thing happens, and they wonder why they can never lose weight. It's because they're doing the same thing again and again. It's like a habit, and that one thing didn't work the first time, and if it doesn't work the first time, it's generally not going to work the next time. And I think that's one of the things we need to look at. So
I think that's a really good key point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most people, especially in terms of nutrition, they get their plans from magazines, they get it from online sources, from word of mouth, and they think, my friend's done this, or this celebrity's done this diet, or done this training regime. I'm going to try this, and I'm hoping to get the same results. That's not always the case, and you've got to understand everyone's different. Everyone's got specific needs in terms of training.
Yeah, I was reading the other day about a new film that came out that had the Rock in it, and Mark Wahlberg, and they did Mark Wahlberg's training session. He was training 3 times a day for an hour and a half each training session, but he was doing it for a specific goal. He was training for this movie, and he only had 10 weeks to get in shape, so he would literally eat food, go to the gym, sleep, eat food, go to the gym, sleep, and he'd do that 3 times a day. That's all he did, was just sleep and eat, and sleep and eat and train. And most people can't do that, but then they see this fitness routine and they think, wow, right, if he can do it, and they're working 8 or 9 hours a day in between this, and it's just too much for the body. So one of the biggest concerns I have with why people struggle to lose weight myself is that they do the wrong exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see this as much as I've seen this in the gyms, when you come in and you see these people and they're on the cross trainer or the cycle, and they're just going at this slow, steady pace consistently, and they're sat there for about 45 minutes, just doing the same thing again and again, and they wonder why after 3 or 4 weeks they're coming in and there's no change in their body shape.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And that's what we call long, slow duration cardio in terms of exercise. And everyone looks at machines like the bike and the cross trainer, like you said, and you can see how many calories you burn in at the time, and perceive that always to be obviously a very positive thing. Which, don't get me wrong, it's good to come into the gym, it's good to be doing those kind of exercises and lose that weight, but in terms of the effects it's going to have in your body, because you're not challenging yourself at a high enough intensity to hit your metabolism and improve your metabolic rate, which is basically how fast you burn off calories, then the after effects of the training session aren't there. And there's different types of exercises and ways of training which can improve your metabolic rate and have you burning calories up throughout the rest of the day and even into the next day, okay, which is obviously going to just speed up your weight loss and your fat burning results. Really important.
That's this key, and what I'm going to do is going to go over to the whiteboard now, and this is a graph I've been using in a lot of my seminars over the years to show people the difference between actually working and challenging their body and working over a long, slow duration, and the difference in how many calories you can burn, the energy it's going to give you, and the vibrancy it's going to give your body. So we're going to go over to the whiteboard next. What we're going to look at firstly is we're going to look at slow, steady cardio. Okay, so the slow duration. So this is an example of someone who goes onto a cross trainer, an elliptical trainer, a cycle, something like that, and stays at a steady pace for a long period of time. So this is what happens. They start off here and they come through, and that's how they're working. They just come up and they're staying at a long, slow, steady pace. Now this will burn calories, don't get us wrong. I obviously don't believe the amount of calories it shows on the machines is actually what you burn. However, this will actually burn some calories. So, if you're looking at about 45 minutes to an hour on these cardio machines, long, slow duration, you're probably looking to burn 200 to 300 calories in that hour, okay? But once you've stopped exercising, okay, because you haven't challenged your body, you haven't challenged your heart, you haven't challenged the system, your body stops. It stops within about 5 to 10 minutes. Stops burning calories. So you've only burnt calories for that duration you've exercised. Now, if you do interval type training like Sean's Invincible Boot Camp, which I've done a couple of times and I think is fantastic, this is where you start challenging your body. You start really challenging your heart to pump the blood around the body, challenge your muscles, and you're challenging your cardiovascular system. And when you do that, you're actually working a lot harder, but for a shorter period of time. So it's like interval training is like a quick sprint, and then you start resting, and then you hit it again, and then you rest for 30 seconds, and you hit it again, and you rest for 30 seconds. So the whole time, you're spiking your energy levels, you're spiking your body to work harder. Now, this is your basic one. No point at all we've gone higher every time, but we're also spiking as we go. So what we're doing, we're pushing our body a lot harder, we're challenging our body to work harder each time, and every time we challenge our body, we have to use more energy.
And this is what we call HIIT training, guys,
Yep.
which is very, very popular now in terms of cardiovascular exercise and getting great results. And obviously, Jay, you know a lot about HIIT training as well.
Yeah, so high intensity interval training is one of the best ways to exercise, because you're, again, challenging the body to push yourself harder, but you're getting those rest periods. Now, we're going to go on a bit deeper into this in a few minutes. But what a lot of people don't actually know is it's actually your liver that breaks down fat for energy to provide the muscles to use. And the body does this when we're resting. So if you're constantly working, your body isn't recovering, it's not being able to use the fat cells, and instead it goes to muscle, and it starts breaking down muscle for energy. And this is why a lot of people, when they do long, slow cardio, this is why you find a lot of bodybuilders will do this long, slow cardio, because what they're trying to do is, after they've worked heavily on weights, they want to burn off some to strip, so they'll do this kind of exercise, where we don't want to do this. If you want to lose weight, guys, you don't want to be doing it this way. You want to be get into the fat cells. Okay, we want to get to the energy cells. Now, a second thing that we must do when we're doing this interval training is, it's great just to do it as in like a sprint runs, things like that, but it's also a good idea to introduce resistance.
Yeah.
Now, Sean, in all your boot camps, you do a lot of different, I mean, every single boot camp's different, it's fantastic, but you do a lot of different things there, and tell them why resistance is
Absolutely.
efficient.
I mean, it's important to try and add resistance and challenge your muscles, obviously, guys, improve your overall strength, and obviously that's going to help with your muscle tone as well. But that extra resistance helps to just increase the metabolic rate even more, okay? And remember, that's the rate that you burn calories, okay, during the exercise and after. And, cardio is great, and don't get me wrong, you can do a lot of great things with your body weight, but as soon as you start adding in resistance, like we do at boot camp with ropes and kettlebells and dumbbells and resistance bags and you name it, the rest we've got a lot of different things that we do. That just helps to improve that metabolic rate even more, because it just starts to hit, obviously, your metabolism, which would include all your ligaments, your tendons, and obviously just hit that immune system a little bit as well. So on that basis alone, guys, you're going to help to increase your metabolic rate. You'll be burning off more calories throughout the rest of the day, and it just helps to speed up your weight loss, but your inch loss as well.
Yeah, and I think the secondary benefit to that as well, when adding resistance, is you're breaking down your muscles when you're using the resistance. So once you break down your muscles, it takes up to 36 hours for your muscles to repair. So when your muscles repair, it uses energy or calories to do this. So this is the difference between long, slow cardio, where you only burn fat for, say, an hour, if you do a 45-minute session, to interval training, where you can actually burn fat for up to 36 hours. That's the difference. So by working this way, great, you're doing a long 45-minute session, you're keeping burning calories, but you only burn calories for an hour, plus a lot of those calories you're breaking down as muscle for energy. Where with your interval HIIT training, you're actually burning calories for up to 36 hours after you've exercised. Yeah? And the beneficial part of that is, as well, is you're challenging your body. So you're improving your cardiovascular area, you're improving your muscle tone and strength, and overall this is a far better way to exercise, and you don't have to exercise every day and cause injury or damage to the body, or it helps with recovery. And that's the important part, guys.
That's the thing, guys, and that's what I was saying earlier, less is more. So with a typical boot camp session, you'd be working at that higher intensity for, 35 to sort of 45 minutes, really. And that's enough time. People always think, oh, you've got to go to the gym and train for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Actually, that's wrong. And like Jeremy said, if you overtrain, and most studies show that if you're training for longer than an hour, your body becomes malnourished or catabolic, and you start burning more muscle tissue than body fat, then actually you're defeating the object of why you've gone to the gym in the first place. Everyone goes to the gym to burn fat, improve their, obviously, fitness, and obviously improve their body shape and tone. And actually, by overtraining and being in the gym too long, or doing a class for too long, you can actually defeat the object of why you've gone in the first place. Which is why, like Jeremy said, higher intensity for less period of time, okay, is actually a lot better to get overall results. And actually from doing a little bit less, you'll be burning calories for a lot longer than you would if you just went in and did, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of the same sort of thing, long slow duration.
Plus, it's not as boring, guys. That's the main thing.
Well, yeah,
it's not
that's
as
the thing.
boring,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Okay, so you can't read a book in Sean's Invincible Boot Camp. That's one thing you're able to do, and I know you can on the bike, but it makes it more fun, it's more varied, and it keeps you active, keeps your body working, keeps it moving. So, so great. So we go back over?
Yeah, let's go. Okay then guys, so that's the end of our first video. Today obviously we've analysed why exercise alone is not going to give you the best results in terms of burning body fat and getting the body that you want. Firstly, I'd like to say thanks to Jay for coming along today and lending us a hand and giving us some great input and some great advice. In tomorrow's video, our next video, what we're going to be looking at is why diets don't work. But we're going to be looking at it from the angle of how actually cutting calories can affect your metabolism, but not always in a positive way. How you can actually reduce your overall energy levels by what you perceive to be a nutritious diet plan, nutritional routine, and actually how a lot of the time when you think you're eating healthy, you're actually storing more body fat than you're actually burning. Thanks for watching again, guys. Before you leave, make sure that you leave us your feedback via the form below, and if you need to get in touch and ask us anything direct, go through the website seanburgesspt.com, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.